dear friends. It's your favorite Joy here, along with my friends Fear, Anger, and Disgust. Today, Tim will be playing a mode called Escape Mr. Brain's Water Park.
Guys, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. With your support, Tim will definitely be able to complete this mode and escape from the dreadful water park.
Damn, what a jerk Mr. Brains is. How dare he treat Tim like that?
Ugh, there's so much water here, and it looks so dirty. It must be contaminated with something. This is really disgusting. Tim, be careful and try not to touch that water.
Guys, don't worry. Everything will be fine. Tim is a grown-up and smart boy. Think of this as just another adventure. It's just another challenge that he can overcome. Let's cheer him on.
Oh no, what is this room? I'm feeling a bit uneasy here. Tim, please be careful. I'm really scared for you right now.
I'm in a rage. Who is this guy? Why is he just standing there? I'm about to erupt with lava. Everything is infuriating me right now. This water park, the man who trapped us here, the dirty water, the wet walls. Ah!
Ugh, it's soap. What's the point of this? Is this some kind of joke? It's horrible, disgusting, and beneath us. Let's get out of here.
Well, guys, the soap, the water, and the pool are behind us. What awaits us next? It's both intriguing and frightening at the same time. Oh, we've entered this strange room. Look at how weirdly it's decorated and the air smells unpleasant. But let's not worry. Tim is handling all these challenges so well.
Oh no, look at that! It's old Mr. Brain! He looks awful and is chasing us with such malice. I'm scared that Tim might be in danger if he doesn't stay cautious. We need to be prepared for anything that might happen.
What the hell is Mr. Brain doing here? Why does he keep chasing us? I can't stand how he's humiliating us and trying to interfere. He's going to pay for this. We're going to deal with him. I won't let him stop us.
Ugh, how awful. Mr. Brain looks so disgusting that it's hard to even look at him, and his smell is just repulsive. I can feel myself recoiling from this horrible sight. But we need to stay strong even if it's revolting. Let's get out of here quickly and find the exit.
Hooray! Tim has escaped from Mr. Brain and made it through the acid. We are so close to victory. Come on, Tim.
That was so scary. I'm really worried about Tim. Oh no, does Tim really have to open those doors? Maybe he shouldn't.
Oh no! God, it smells awful in here. It's so stinky, disgusting. Tim, get out of here and fast. I want to forget this place like a bad dream.
Guys, how about we tell our viewers a couple of interesting stories? Yes, I think we need to distract ourselves while Tim goes through this mode. Before we start the stories, check your subscription to the channel and hit the like button in 5 seconds if you haven't done it yet. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. If you didn't make it, I'll give you another 5 seconds.
Well, all right. This story is about when we were the emotions in the mind of a very kind and law-abiding person. When we first found ourselves in Mark's head, we couldn't believe he ended up in such a situation. Mark was a good and decent man, but he was unjustly accused and sent to prison for a crime he didn't commit. Despite this, I tried to keep his spirits up and find bright moments in the darkness. Even in prison, you can find joy. In the smiles of fellow inmates, in the rare sunny days when you can walk in the yard. My task was to remind Mark that there is hope and that we must fight for justice.
Every day I felt on edge. Prison is a place full of dangers and uncertainty. I worried about Mark when he encountered aggressive inmates and when he had to cope with the hardships of prison life. I feared he might lose faith in himself and in justice. Every new morning I worried about what might happen and tried to prepare him for any surprises. But I also knew that my anxiety sometimes helped him be more cautious and attentive.
My anger was boiling inside. The injustice that Mark faced was unbearable. How could they imprison an innocent man? I was angry at the system, at those who framed him, and at the situation itself. Every time Mark faced injustice or cruelty, my anger flared up even more. I wanted him not to give up and to fight for his name. My rage sometimes gave him the strength to resist and defend himself in this harsh environment.
I was filled with disgust at the surrounding environment. The prison was a dirty, dangerous place where people often forgot about human dignity. I was repelled by the conditions Mark had to live in. I felt disgust at the injustice that led to his imprisonment. But I understood that Mark had to learn to adapt to survive in this world. I tried to help him find ways to cope with the disgust and maintain his inner dignity.
Sometimes we managed to find joy in the most unexpected places. We began to make friends with other inmates who had also become victims of circumstances. We read books together, played board games, and shared life stories. Mark began participating in prison programs that helped him feel useful and occupied. I saw a spark of hope in his eyes, and that gave me the strength to keep supporting him.
But my anxiety didn't disappear. Every new event could change everything, and I was always on guard. We found out that there was a lawyer who took an interest in Mark's case and was willing to help prove his innocence. This added even more anxiety. What if this attempt also failed? But at the same time, it gave us new hope and a goal.
My anger helped Mark not to give up. When the lawyer started reviewing the case, we learned that there was evidence that could clear Mark's name. My rage at the injustice of the system turned into determination to help the lawyer find all the evidence. Mark felt my strength and used it to fight for his name.
The process was long and arduous, but I tried to remind Mark that we were on the right path. We had to go through this to clear his name from all accusations. My disgust at the situation helped Mark stay determined not to agree with the injustice and to keep fighting.
And finally, the day came when the truth triumphed. The lawyer managed to prove Mark's innocence, and he was released. This moment was filled with joy and relief. We left the prison with a sense of victory and hope for a better future. Mark hugged his loved ones, and we all felt that our struggle had not been in vain.
Although we were out in the free world, my anxieties didn't disappear. Mark had to start his life over, restore his name, and regain the trust of those around him. But now we had hope and confidence that we could handle any difficulties.
My anger was now directed towards helping Mark restore justice and find those who had framed him. We weren't going to stop at what we had achieved. Our fight for justice was only just beginning.
But despite all the hardships, I was proud of Mark. He managed to go through all the trials and come out of them with dignity. Together, we faced the darkest side of life and found the light at the end of the tunnel.
Guys, how did you like the story? Did you enjoy it? Then make sure to hit the like button and subscribe, and we'll keep moving forward. So, the next story is just as thrilling. We find ourselves on a beautiful island, and Tim is enjoying a vacation with his family. The nature around us is simply breathtaking. We're walking along the beach, swimming in the sea, and exploring the jungle. Today is a special day. We're going to witness a volcanic eruption. It's an amazing and rare sight, and I'm so excited that Tim will be able to see it with his own eyes. We're all filled with anticipation and excitement for something incredible.
On the other hand, I'm very worried. A volcano is not only beautiful, but also dangerous. I'm anxious about what could happen. What if there's a strong earthquake or a fire avalanche? We're close to the volcano, and my anxiety is only growing. We need to be careful and pay attention to all the warnings.
When the volcano starts showing activity, I feel anger bubbling up inside me. Why are we so close to this dangerous place? If something goes wrong, who will be responsible? But at the same time, I understand that our task is to help Tim deal with the situation and protect him. I'm ready to use my strength to help him get out of any trouble.
The smell of sulfur starts to fill the air, and I can't help but feel disgusted by it. The gases coming from the volcano are really unpleasant. I try to distract myself and help Tim ignore it, but it's not easy. We need to be cautious and not let these unpleasant sensations ruin our day.
We're at a safe distance, watching as the volcano begins to erupt. It's an incredible sight. Lava shoots into the sky, and hot rocks fall back to the ground. Tim is thrilled, his eyes shining with wonder. I can feel his joy filling me up. This is one of those moments that will be remembered for a lifetime.
But I remain on high alert. I make sure we don't get too close and put ourselves in danger. The volcano is becoming more active, and I start to worry that the situation might get out of control. But for now, everything is under control, and I'm trying not to panic.
People around us are starting to fuss and worry. Some are trying to get closer to take pictures, and it irritates me. Why don't they think about safety? I'm ready to intervene if any of them put us at risk. But for now, I'm trying to keep my emotions in check.
The flows of lava running down the slopes of the volcano evoke mixed feelings in me. On one hand, it's beautiful, but on the other, it's too dangerous and frightening. I try to focus on the fact that this is a unique natural phenomenon, and that we can observe it from a safe distance.
As the eruption begins to subside, we all feel relieved and awestruck. Tim shares his impressions, talking about how amazing it was. I'm glad we could experience this together, and that he had such a unique experience. In the end, this day turned into a real adventure, and we all came out of it a little stronger and happier.
Guys, hit the like button and subscribe. Your support means the world to us. Goodbye, everyone.
Hey everyone, guys, how did we end up here? Let's get out of this mode together.
That's right. Guys, help us escape from here by hitting the like button, subscribing, and we'll definitely make it out.
I'm about to punch him. Why the heck did they lock us up here? Let's get out of here, subscribers. Help Tim escape from this place.
It smells terrible in here. How about escaping through the ventilation?
Yes, Tim knows what he's doing. We're definitely getting out of here now.
We're going to end up outside, right? Oh no, it's really high up. I'm worried about our boy Tim.
Anxiety, don't worry. Everything will be fine. Tim is a smart boy. He can handle this obstacle.
Press that darn button, Tim. I'm about to boil over. Who dared to lock us up here? Does someone want our soul?
Tim isn't really gonna jump across those platforms, is he? Well, who am I kidding?
Guys, there's no need to worry. Tim has everything under control. He'll handle it. We just need to believe in him.
I do believe in him, but I'm very, very scared. What if our boy falls? What will happen to him? What if he doesn't make it?
Look how much fun it is here. So many toys. We can play with cars or ride on the big inflatable ship.
Wait, what's that? I see something behind the wardrobe. Oh God, someone is coming out. It's an old woman. She looks really scary.
Look at her. Her clothes are dirty and she looks disgusting. I can't stay here. I'm feeling sick. We need to find an exit quickly.
We're safe. The old woman is gone. I was so nervous, but now I feel like things are a bit better.
It's clear that she couldn't handle us. We managed to find a way out. But remember, if she comes back, be ready.
See, guys, everything's fine. We don't need to panic. Tim is handling it. Now we need to move those boxes so we can reach the ventilation.
I hate vents. It's so cramped and smells terrible. Isn't there another option?
No, disgust. We don't have any other option but to push through after everything that's happened.
Tim, what are you doing? The vent could be dangerous. What if you get stuck or fall?
Don't worry, Anxiety. Tim looks so brave. Just imagine what an adventure it is to crawl through the vent. It's like in the movies.
Yuck. It's so dusty and dirty. How can you crawl into such a creepy vent? Tim, you should find another way.
Tim, knock down that damn fence. It's blocking our way.
Anger? Why knock it down right away? We can be smarter and not break anything. Tim is a clever boy. He'll find a way out of any situation.
Tim, where have you ended up? This big room looks like a warehouse. It could be dangerous here. What if someone else is around?
Yuck. Everything here is dusty and dirty. This warehouse looks so neglected. I hope Tim doesn't plan to stay here for long.
All right, but let's not forget to be cautious. Places like this often have traps or locked doors. Let's stay vigilant.
Guys, I think it's a great time to tell you a story. Hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Your support means a lot to us. It all started when we ended up in a class with this teacher. His name was Mr. Grimm, and he was known for giving everyone failing grades and always angrily pointing with his ruler.
When we first arrived in Mr. Grimm's class, I was very worried. The room was gloomy, and all the students looked frightened. Mr. Grimm was stern and irritable, and his ruler seemed so threatening. I was so anxious that this day would be terrible.
From the very beginning, I was furious about how Mr. Grimm treated the students. He was always scolding them and giving failing grades for the slightest mistakes. I wanted to do something to change the situation because his attitude was unfair.
When I saw how Mr. Grimm cruelly and mercilessly treated the children, I felt a deep sense of disgust. It was unpleasant to watch him use his ruler and how his rudeness destroyed the classroom atmosphere.
Despite all this, I decided to try to find a way to change the situation. I noticed that Mr. Grimm was lonely and never smiled. I had an idea. If we could show him how nice it is to be kind, maybe he would change.
I wasn't sure how to do this, but Joy suggested a plan. We decided to start by doing something kind for Mr. Grimm. We prepared small gifts and notes with kind wishes.
I supported the plan but was cautious. I wanted Mr. Grimm to understand how his behavior affected others. We brought him gifts and notes, hoping it would give him a reason to reflect.
At first, I was skeptical. I didn't like the idea of doing something for Mr. Grimm, but I understood that it might help. We carefully left the gifts on his desk and wrote kind words in the notes.
One day, when Mr. Grimm came into the class, he saw the gifts and notes. At first, his face looked surprised, but then, as he read the kind words, he began to change. Gradually, a smile appeared on his face, and he became more friendly.
My anxiety began to diminish when I saw that Mr. Grimm became softer. He started praising students for their efforts and even began using the ruler in more playful games rather than for punishment.
I was amazed by the changes. Mr. Grimm became attentive and understanding. He stopped giving failing grades without reason and started encouraging students for their successes. I was glad that our intervention helped change his attitude.
I couldn't believe that our plan worked, but the results were evident. Mr. Grimm had now become a kind and caring figure, and the classroom turned into a place where students felt comfortable and confident.
Mr. Grimm began spending time with the students, telling them stories and teaching them with a smile. His kindness was so genuine that the class became a place of joy and fun. We were all happy to see how he changed and how he became a beloved figure for his students.
Now I feel I can breathe a sigh of relief. Mr. Grimm has become not only kinder, but also more attentive to his students. It has been a true miracle.
Yes, it was a great change. I am glad that our effort and hard work helped improve the situation. It was a worthwhile endeavor.
Now I am pleased to see that the classroom has become a pleasant place for learning. I am glad that Mr. Grimm changed, and now students no longer have to fear him.
So, joy, anger, anxiety, and disgust helped Mr. Grimm become a kind figure. This story shows that even the most difficult situations can be changed if approached with kindness and understanding.
Did you like it? If so, subscribe to the channel and give us a thumbs up, and let's move on to the next story.
This story is about how anger, disgust, anxiety, and I helped Tim deal with a situation at school. It all started when Tim began coming home upset. He told us that his classmates were bullying him. This was very hard for him.
I immediately felt how Tim was affected by being bullied. I constantly worried that the situation might get worse. I was concerned that Tim might feel even worse, or even refuse to go to school.
I was outraged that Tim was being bullied. It was unfair, and I couldn't stand that someone was treating him so poorly. I wanted to help Tim, but I didn't know how to do it right without making things worse.
I was appalled to hear about how Tim was being bullied. The bullies were so rude and uncivilized that I had no respect for them. I thought they deserved to be shown that their behavior was unacceptable.
I realized we needed to find a way to help Tim without causing harm to anyone. Together, we decided that the best way to help Tim was to support him in a way that made him feel confident and able to defend himself.
I was scared of the idea that we might do something that could make things even worse. But I understood that Tim needed support, and we needed to find a way to help him feel better and more protected.
I suggested to Tim that he should open up and talk to his teacher or parents about what was happening. It was important for them to know about the problem so they could help. I also advised Tim on how to use his words to make it clear to the bullies that their behavior was unacceptable.
I helped Tim come up with ways to respond to the bullies to show them that their actions were inappropriate. Instead of seeking revenge, we decided to demonstrate that Tim didn't have to tolerate such behavior. He could stand up for his rights with confidence.
Together with anxiety, anger, and disgust, we developed a plan to help Tim. He started to confidently speak to the bullies and show them that while they could hurt him, they couldn't break him. We supported him and taught him how to be assertive without being aggressive.
My worry about Tim gradually lessened as I saw him start to show confidence and resilience. He began to feel better and started believing in his own strength. I was happy to see that he was no longer afraid to openly express his feelings.
I am proud of how Tim handled the situation. He not only defended himself, but also taught the bullies that their behavior was unacceptable. It was fair and right.
I am glad that we helped Tim deal with the bullies without resorting to revenge. His confidence and ability to stand up for himself were the best responses. The bullies now understand that they shouldn't treat people the way they treated Tim.
In the end, Tim felt much better. His confidence grew, and he started enjoying his days at school. We were all happy to see him become stronger and more self-assured. It was a great example of how important it is to have friends' support and a proper approach to solving problems.
Now I feel that everything will be okay. Tim has learned to handle difficult situations and not be afraid of them. This was crucial for his confidence and self-respect.
I am satisfied with how everything turned out. Tim was able to show that he wouldn't let anyone treat him badly. It was well-deserved.
I am happy that Tim managed to deal with this unpleasant situation. His confidence and courage were well earned, and he now knows that he deserves respect.
So, with the help of anxiety, anger, disgust, and me, Joy, Tim was able to overcome the difficulties and become more confident. It shows that together we can handle any challenges and help each other become stronger.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye for now.
Hello, everyone, dear friends. Today we will be playing Escape Evil Inside Out 2 Prison.
Guys, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel so that Tim can make it to the end.
Look at this. It's our control panel. What's it doing here?
I don't know, but it smells terrible here. Is that fish? Canned food? Whatever it is, it's disgusting.
All right, let's go. I think it's a great idea to escape through the ventilation above. Guys, let's give it a try.
Oh no, it's really cramped in the ventilation. What was written on the wall? Did you see it?
No, Anxiety. I didn't see it. Maybe our viewers did. Guys, please write in the comments what was written on that wall. We're moving on. It's high up here, but we'll manage.
Oh no, it's really high up. Just look at those spikes down there. If our boy Tim falls, I'm about to cry from fear. I'm so worried for Tim.
Anxiety, calm down. See, everything's fine. We're not going to fall onto the spikes. Tim is okay. But where are we? And why does it smell so bad here?
Hey, who's that? Yeah, disgust. I'm starting to smell it too. Oh no, she looks a lot like our Joy. How dare she chase us?
We need to run faster. Guys, I don't know who that is or why her face looks like mine and why she's chasing Tim. There's no time to figure it out. We just have to run.
That creature is terrifying. Did you see how it looks? It's farting and chasing people. I'm really scared. Tim, please, let's go faster.
Phew, that was close. That was dangerous. I hope it gets safer and less disgusting from here. We need to find out who that was and why she looks so much like Joy.
Guys, I really don't know who that is. Maybe it's some kind of evil copy of me that wants to destroy us.
Destroy us? I'll destroy anyone who dares to touch Tim. Let's keep moving forward. No looking back.
This pit looks pretty suspicious. By the way, when did Tim get so good at digging so quickly?
Tim is smart and strong. He can handle these challenges easily. But where are we now? This place looks really unpleasant and disgusting. Tim, you need to find a way out of here quickly.
The exit is near. I can feel it. We just need to stay vigilant and avoid falling. It's simple, and I doubt anything will happen to us even if we do fall. Let's keep moving forward.
Joy, that's lava. It's dangerous. We need to be very careful.
What is this room? Everything looks so unusual and mysterious. I love puzzles and adventures, and this looks like a real challenge.
That guy clearly isn't happy about our visit. Why is he chasing us? We're just trying to find a way out, and he's acting like we've invaded his territory. We need to be careful and find a way to get rid of him before it's too late.
Ah, what a disgusting smell. It's as if the entire castle is soaked in filth and foul substances. I can't believe we ended up here. And that man, his appearance and odor are just horrifying.
Don't worry, it's all part of the adventure. We'll get through this. Let's see what's behind the next doors. Everything will be fine if we stick together and act as a team.
Congratulations. We escaped the castle, Tim. You did a great job. I hope we won't have to worry so much about our boy in the future. Keep up the good work.
Friends, let's share a couple of interesting stories with our viewers while Tim is going through these challenges. Please like and subscribe, and let's get started.
Once we went on a quest to find a lost treasure. The legend said that the treasure was hidden in ancient ruins, and only the bravest could find it. We decided to take on this challenge and start our adventure.
I felt the tension and worry because we didn't know what lay ahead. The ruins were filled with traps and puzzles. I was concerned that we might get lost or run into trouble.
I was outraged when I saw that some traps were especially devious and dangerous. I knew we had to be cautious to avoid falling into a trap, and becoming victims of this treacherous treasure.
Inside the ruins, there was a lot of dirt and unpleasant smells. I didn't like being in such conditions, but I knew we had to continue our adventure despite the discomfort.
Finally, we found the key to the last puzzle, and it led us to a hidden room where the treasure was concealed. We were thrilled to have found it and overcome all the obstacles.
I felt relief when we found the treasure, but I was also wary. What if someone found out about our success and tried to take it from us?
I was glad that we managed to keep the treasure safe. We deserved this success despite all the difficulties and dangers.
Even though the treasure was found, I was still not pleased with all the dirt and troubles we had to endure. The main thing is that we completed the task.
We returned home with the treasure and were proud of ourselves. It was an incredible adventure, and we were all happy that we were able to complete it together. This is a story about how, along with anger, anxiety, and disgust, we were the emotions of Alex, a famous stuntman. Alex was performing in Hollywood, and his stunts were true artistry. When everything went smoothly, we celebrated his successes and supported him as he took the stage. Each stunt was a true celebration for us, and Alex always looked happy and confident.
On the day when everything went wrong, I was especially tense. Alex was preparing for a complex stunt that seemed too risky. I was worried that something might go wrong, and unfortunately, my fears came true. Alex suffered a serious injury. I was horrified and anxious about how this could affect his career and health.
When I learned about Alex's injury, I was furious. It was unfair that he ended up in such a situation. How could the organizers or the team not account for all the risks? I was scathing and angry at everyone who could be responsible for what happened. It was unacceptable, and I felt that Alex did not deserve such treatment.
It was unpleasant to see what happened to Alex. The injury was horrifying and disgusting, and it was hard for me to watch him suffer. I felt that the whole situation was the result of negligence and disregard for safety. It all caused me a sense of disgust.
Despite the heavy ordeal, we, as Alex's emotions, decided to support him during this difficult time. We knew he would not give up and would continue to fight. Alex was determined to recover and return to his work. We tried to boost his spirit and remind him that he was strong and capable of overcoming difficulties.
I was still worried, but saw that Alex was taking steps for his recovery. He was undergoing rehabilitation, working with doctors, and continuing to believe in the best. I was concerned about his health, but saw that he was doing everything possible for his recovery.
I was glad that Alex did not break down and continued to fight despite everything that happened. I was angry that he had to go through this, but proud of how he reacted to the tough situations. We continued to support him in his fight for recovery and safety.
Although I was still dissatisfied with what had happened, I saw how Alex turned his pain into motivation. He did not let negativity defeat him, and that was commendable. I hope that such situations would not recur, and that safety on set would be improved.
Alex managed to overcome his injury and return to his career, but now he was even more attentive to safety issues. His resilience and courage inspired us all. We were proud that we could support him during this difficult time. This story reminded us of the importance of being there for those we care about and finding light in the darkest moments of life.
Did you enjoy it? If so, give us a like and subscribe, and we won't stop. Let's keep going. Also, feel free to leave your opinions in the comments. Your support means a lot to us.
We, along with anger, anxiety, and disgust, were Tim's emotions when he participated in a football tournament. It was an exciting time, full of anticipation and hope. We were all thrilled when Tim and his team made it to the finals. It was the moment we had been eagerly awaiting.
On the day of the tournament, I was filled with anxiety. It was the final match, and the whole team was under immense pressure. I worried that Tim and his friends might make mistakes or face difficulties. We wanted everything to go perfectly, but were anxious about every detail, from the condition of the field to the team's preparation.
I was determined. When the match started, I was ready for any challenges. I felt anger when I saw the opponents playing aggressively and using dirty tricks. I wanted Tim and his team to not fall for the provocations and to keep fighting until the end. We had to show that we could overcome any obstacles.
I was skeptical and felt disgusted at moments when the game became tense. There were instances when the referees made questionable decisions and the opposing players didn't always play fairly. It was unpleasant and made me uncomfortable. I feared that this might affect the outcome of the game.
Despite all our worries, Tim and his team played incredibly. They fought for every ball, and their perseverance and teamwork impressed everyone. And then, at the very end of the match, when the score was almost tied, Tim scored the decisive goal. It was an amazing sight, and all the spectators and we, his emotions, were on cloud nine with happiness.
I was filled with relief and joy when Tim and his team won. All the tension and fear I felt disappeared when we saw them celebrating their victory. I was proud that all their efforts and training had yielded such wonderful results.
I was incredibly proud of Tim and his team for not giving in to provocations and fighting until the end. The victory was well-deserved, and I was glad that we managed to prove our strength and endurance. Everything was great, and we got what we deserved.
Although I didn't like some of the unpleasant moments in the game, I couldn't help but be happy for Tim and his team. They overcame difficulties and achieved success. The victory was well-earned, and it showed that despite all the challenges, they managed to overcome every obstacle.
So Tim and his team won the football tournament, and it was an incredible victory. We were all thrilled to see them enjoying their success and celebrating their well-deserved win. This story showed that hard work, support from friends, and loyalty to one's team can lead to amazing results. We are proud of Tim and his team and happy to have been part of this wonderful moment.
Thank you for joining us and following our adventures. We hope you enjoyed our stories and had a great time watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel so you won't miss our new videos. Bye for now.
Hello, everyone. It's me, Joy, along with my friends Anxiety, Anger, and Disgust. Today, our boy Tim is going to take on the exciting mode called Disgust Barry's Prison Run. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel so that Tim can get out of here safely.
What? Disgust! Why did you lock us up in this prison? Why did you lock Tim up? This could be really dangerous.
What? Disgust? Are you kidding me? This is your doing? I'm furious. Why would you do this?
Guys, believe me, I really have nothing to do with this. Maybe it's just a poor imitation of me. I would never do something so disgusting to Tim.
Guys, let's not fight. We're a team, we should stay positive. Besides, look around, it's actually quite fascinating and interesting in here
And very dangerous. Every room here feels like a nightmare to me.
Oh, wow, look! Do you see that figure up ahead? It looks just like disgust. How is that even possible? This is infuriating. I'm boiling with anger. How dare they?
We need to find a way out of here. Hey, look over there. Ventilation. If we can reach it, we might be able to escape.
Ugh! Why is it always ventilation? It's so dirty and cramped. But fine, if this is our only way out, we'll have to crawl through it. But I'm protesting.
We're almost there. Just a little more and we'll be saved. It's so exciting, like being in a real movie. We'll make it and everything will be all right.
We did it! We escaped! Now he can't get us, but we need to keep moving to find the exit and finally put this nightmare behind us.
Oh, it stinks so badly here. It's really disgusting. I can't wait until we finally get to fresh air. I hope this path leads to something less revolting.
We're heading down. Tim, are you sure this is a good idea?
Don't worry, Anxiety. Tim always has everything under control. Just a little more and we'll be free. I'm confident about that.
Wow, where are we? What is this dungeon? Everything looks so bright and big. It feels strange.
And it also smells really bad. Oh God, when will we get out of this horrible prison? Subscribers, help us out! Please like and subscribe to our channel. It will give Tim the motivation to keep going if he sees that hundreds of people are rooting for him.
Oh no! This bridge is very dangerous. I'm really worried about our boy Tim. Please be careful, Tim. We always end up in risky situations.
The bridge is crossed. Everything's fine, Anxiety. No need to panic. Tim will handle it.
So here's another challenge ahead. It looks easy, but we need to be extremely careful. Oh no, what's that huge ball? It could crush us.
Tim, run faster. This is very dangerous. Don't get hit by the ball, please. Wait a minute. What are those on the walls? Are they memories? But where did they come from? What are they doing here?
Guys, I'm starting to get confused. The control panel at the beginning, the memories, the bright objects. Where are we even? Maybe Tim ended up in someone's head. Perhaps somewhere in a memory warehouse?
I don't know, but I'm really scared. A copy of Disgust is chasing us again. How many of them are there, and why does it look so much like our friend?
I'm about to erupt lava. I swear, I'm so angry. This is happening again. This place is full of mysteries we still can't solve.
Phew, it looks like we've escaped. She was so disgusting. I'm glad Tim got away from her. She looked terrible and smelled even worse. I hope we don't run into her again.
Guys, let's run up the stairs. See, everything's fine. We're safe for now. No need to panic or be scared.
How about we share a few interesting stories with our viewers while Tim finds his way out?
I think that's a great idea. It will help us distract ourselves from this nightmare and feel less scared. Everyone, give us a like and subscribe to the channel if you want to hear some stories from us.
Well, I think our viewers have already liked and subscribed. Tim was always looking for adventure, and here he found himself in an abandoned castle full of mysteries and secrets. He was thrilled to discover such a place, and each new discovery brought him more joy. Exploring the ancient corridors and investigating old objects was a real pleasure for him. I was happy with him, seeing his enthusiasm and excitement.
But with each step, I became more and more nervous. The castle was dark and abandoned, and the silence around us only intensified my fears. Every creak and rustle made me anxious, and I worried that Tim might run into something dangerous. My concerns grew as he explored dark corners and labyrinthine hallways. I was worried for his safety and was on the verge of panic.
When strange things started happening in the castle, I couldn't stay calm. Doors creaked, and sometimes it felt like someone was watching us. This was outrageous. Why did the old castle have to be so mystical and frightening? I was ready to fight these mysterious forces to protect him and ensure his safety. I couldn't stand by and watch the castle scare him.
Some parts of the castle were just disgusting. We encountered decaying furniture, moldy walls, and dust that was almost visible. The smell of mustiness and decay was terrible. These places were so dirty and unpleasant that I felt uncomfortable. The castle was not only scary but also extremely unpleasant to the senses.
Despite all the difficulties and fears, Tim continued to enjoy the adventure. He found an old diary that told the story of the castle's past and its inhabitants. This was a real treasure. Tim was thrilled with his discoveries and proud that he could uncover part of the history of this mysterious place. His joy and satisfaction were contagious, and even in the spooky atmosphere, he continued to find positive moments.
As events became more strange, I was on the verge of panic. Instead of the usual silence of the castle, we began to hear eerie sounds and creaks, and in some places, the air felt heavy and oppressive. I worried about Tim's safety and wanted him to get out of this scary place as soon as possible.
I was infuriated when Tim encountered the most frightening parts of the castle, full of creepy frescoes and symbols. Why did the old place have to be so horrible and uncomfortable? I was outraged that the castle was trying to scare Tim and disrupt his adventure. This was unfair and unacceptable. I wanted Tim to leave all these scary things behind and find a safe place.
When Tim finally got out of the darkest corners of the castle, I felt relieved. The castle was not only scary, but also an extremely unpleasant place. I was glad that all of this was behind us and hoped Tim would never encounter anything like it again.
Despite all the difficulties, Tim was thrilled with his discoveries and adventures. He was proud that he had overcome his fears and explored the abandoned castle. Coming home brought relief and joy. Tim told his friends about his impressions, and his eyes once again sparkled with happiness. This adventure became a unique and unforgettable experience for him. We were all glad that, despite all the fears and discomforts, he found joy and satisfaction in this unusual journey.
So guys, did you enjoy it? Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. It really motivates us to take on new challenges.
The next story is about how we were emotions in the mind of an evil scientist. When we found ourselves in Dr. Green's mind, an evil scientist, I was consumed with righteous anger. He used his intellect to create things that could harm others. It infuriated me. How can one waste their talents on destruction when they could be creating something useful? I decided our task was to channel his energy into a more constructive direction.
We started by trying to spark an interest in him for things that could bring joy and benefit. Instead of dark experiments, we aimed to inspire him to focus on something positive. At one point, he even became interested in creating devices that could improve people's lives. That was a huge step forward. Every time he did something kind or useful, we rejoiced with him, and his mood gradually improved.
Of course, I was constantly worried that he might revert to his old habits. His dark thoughts and plans still occasionally surfaced, and I was anxious that he might become evil again. Whenever he delved into his grim schemes, I tried to redirect his attention to something brighter and more positive. It felt like we were walking on thin ice, and any misstep could ruin everything.
I was particularly disturbed by his experiments, which were often unethical and dangerous. I felt revulsion towards how he treated his subjects and the experiments themselves. We began pushing him to reconsider his methods and think about the consequences of his actions. Gradually, he started to understand that he could be beneficial rather than harmful. His approach to his work became more responsible and ethical.
Over time, we saw Dr. Green begin to change. He became more open, started participating in community projects, and helped other scientists. His work ceased to be dark and threatening. Instead, he focused on creating inventions that could improve people's lives and help the environment. This path was not easy, but eventually, he became a kind and respected scientist. We were thrilled to help him see the brighter side and find the strength for change.
Sometimes he still experienced bursts of anger, but now they were directed at fighting injustice and improving the world. He used his passion and energy to do good rather than evil. We saw him becoming happier and more satisfied with his work and life overall. It was a true miracle to see him transform from an evil scientist into a kind and caring person.
Hooray! Tim defeated the final boss and we finally escaped from the prison. We are free!
Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you next time.
Hi everyone. Today we're going to play Roblox in the game mode MR Yummy Supermarket. Before we start, make sure to subscribe to the channel and give us a like, and also leave a comment about which game mode you'd like to see next. Let's get started.
I have a feeling that Mr. Yummy is not the cleanest person. Just look at this place. There are sauces spilled everywhere. It looks like ketchup and mustard. It smells so bad. It seems like something else has gone bad here too. He really needs to hire a cleaning company to sort this out.
Oh, look at this mess. Just look at the floor. There are puddles everywhere. This place is disgusting. How can anyone work in such a filthy environment? And that Mr. Yummy guy looks so smug, like he doesn't care at all.
I know. It's really unsettling. What if those puddles are something harmful? What if they're dangerous? I'm really worried about Tim. What if he slips and hurts himself? We need to be extra careful here.
Seriously, how can someone be so careless? If he can't even keep his supermarket clean, what else is he neglecting? I'm so angry just thinking about it. We should do something about this.
I just keep thinking about all the potential hazards. What if those puddles are hiding something worse? We need to make sure Tim doesn't get hurt. I'm so anxious just looking at this place.
Well, we have to deal with it. If Mr. Yummy can't clean up his own mess, we might have to find a way to help him. But I'm not going to be happy about it.
Agreed. Let's just focus on keeping Tim safe and getting out of here. I'm too worried about all the dangers in this place to think about anything else right now.
I think these cashiers are unhappy with their work. Some look like they're hungry, others seem exhausted. Mr. Yummy doesn't seem to care about his employees at all and makes them work to the bone. We need to do something about this. Maybe punish him and help the cashiers.
Wow, look at this room. It's like a magical playground for kids. The walls are painted with bright colors, and there are so many toys and games scattered around. It's so cheerful and fun. I bet kids love spending time here.
Ugh, are you serious? Look closer. The toys are all over the place, and some of them look really dirty. There are crumbs and stains on the carpet, and it smells a bit musty. It's not as charming as it seems.
Come on, it's supposed to be a fun space for kids. A little mess is normal. Besides, those toys look like they've had a lot of happy playtime. The room has a lot of potential to be a great place for children.
Maybe, but the filth and disorganization are hard to ignore. I can't help but feel grossed out by the mess and the smell. It's not just a little mess. It's pretty disgusting.
I understand that it might not be perfect, but the overall vibe is still positive. If someone cleaned it up a bit, it would be a fantastic space for kids to play and enjoy themselves.
Well, I suppose you're right about the potential, but it definitely needs a thorough cleaning before it can be truly enjoyable. I just hope someone takes care of it soon.
Exactly. With a bit of tidying up, this could be an amazing room for kids. Let's hope it gets the attention it needs.
Story time! Now we're going to tell you a story about Tim.
Today, we have an exciting story about how Tim saved the population from a zombie apocalypse. Imagine, our brave Tim found himself in the middle of a zombie outbreak and had to figure out how to save everyone. It was quite an adventure.
Oh no, not a zombie apocalypse. I was panicking from the start. What if Tim couldn't find a safe place? What if the zombies were too strong? I kept worrying about him as he tried to find a way out of this terrible situation.
Stop worrying, Anxiety. Tim isn't just any guy, he's a real hero. Sure, zombies are dangerous, but if anyone can stop them, it's him. If needed, I'll personally deal with those zombies to help Tim save people.
Ah, zombies are just revolting. Their appearance and smell are horrifying. I was completely grossed out. I hope Tim can handle this without getting too close to such disgusting things.
When Tim started taking action, he first gathered a group of survivors and led them to a safe shelter. He came up with a plan for safe movement and defense. Despite the dangers, he kept a positive attitude and inspired others with his actions.
I couldn't stop worrying as Tim led people through ruined cities and dense forests. Every step was risky, and I feared something would go wrong. He did an incredible job ensuring everyone's safety.
Tim acted quickly and decisively. When zombies tried to breach their shelter, he took up arms and protected the people. I was so proud of him for showing he wasn't afraid to fight to protect those with him. We won't let anyone suffer because of these zombies.
With every encounter with zombies, my discomfort grew. These creatures were truly horrific, but I knew I had to support Tim. Despite my revulsion, I recognized that his bravery and determination were crucial for survival.
In the end, thanks to Tim's bravery and skill, the residents were able to build a new safe place and begin rebuilding. Tim became a real hero, and everyone was grateful for his efforts and courage. We were all so happy that we could help him in this great endeavor. It was a story of true heroism and friendship.
I still can't help but admire how Tim managed through this terrible ordeal. He turned panic and fear into hope and safety. It was a very tough moment, but he did everything right.
See, Anxiety? Tim handled it despite all the difficulties. He defeated the zombies and protected the people. I'm proud of his resilience and bravery.
Yes, despite the horrible moments and the disgust I felt, I'm glad Tim was able to handle the situation. Now we can hopefully rest easy and hope such horrors won't happen again.
And that's the end of our story, friends. Tim showed that even in the toughest situations, hope and strength can be found for the fight. I hope you enjoyed this story as much as we did.
The next story will be about how Tim went on a round-the-world journey.
We have an exciting story about how Tim embarked on a round-the-world journey. Picture this. Tim decided to travel to every corner of the globe, discovering new cultures, meeting interesting people, and having adventures like never before. It was a journey full of joy and wonder.
Oh, traveling around the world sounds thrilling, but it also makes me anxious. What if Tim gets lost in a foreign country? What if something goes wrong with his plans? There are so many unknowns, and I can't help but worry about his safety and well-being throughout this entire journey.
Enough with the worrying, Anxiety. Tim is a brave adventurer. He's going to face challenges head on and show the world what he's made of. Sure, there might be bumps along the way, but I believe in his strength and determination. If anyone can handle a global journey, it's him.
Traveling can be so grimy and uncomfortable sometimes. All those crowded airports, dirty hotels, and strange foods. Yuck! I'm already feeling grossed out thinking about all the mess and unpleasantness Tim might encounter. But I suppose he has to endure it to experience the world.
Tim's journey began with excitement as he set off from his home. He first explored vibrant cities, tasted delicious street foods, and marveled at historical landmarks. Each new place brought a fresh wave of enthusiasm and happiness. The joy on Tim's face was contagious as he embraced each new experience.
As Tim ventured into remote areas and unfamiliar places, my anxiety grew. What if he encounters dangerous situations or gets sick? Every new destination seemed to come with its own set of risks. I kept hoping that Tim would stay safe and that his journey would go smoothly, despite my worries.
Even though there were obstacles, Tim didn't let them get in his way. He tackled every challenge with determination and grit. When he faced setbacks, he pushed through, demonstrating his resilience. I was ready to punch any problem that came his way, ensuring he could continue his adventure without too much hassle.
Some parts of Tim's journey were truly unpleasant. From enduring long flights with questionable food to dealing with unclean accommodations, it was a test of endurance. I was cringing at some of the less glamorous aspects of his travels. But I had to admit, despite the discomfort, Tim's spirit never wavered.
Eventually, Tim returned home, full of amazing stories and unforgettable experiences. His journey around the world had been an incredible adventure, filled with new friends, breathtaking sights, and personal growth. It was a true celebration of exploration and discovery, and his happiness was evident to everyone around him.
Even though I was anxious throughout Tim's travels, seeing him come back safe and happy was a huge relief. His adventure turned out to be a fantastic experience, and I felt reassured knowing he managed to handle everything so well.
Despite all the bumps along the way, Tim's journey was a success. He conquered challenges and made the most of every opportunity. I'm proud of his bravery and resilience throughout the entire trip.
Some parts of Tim's journey were truly unpleasant. From enduring long flights with questionable food to dealing with unclean accommodations, it was a test of endurance. I was cringing at some of the less glamorous aspects of his travels. But I had to admit, despite the discomfort, Tim's spirit never wavered.
Our stories have come to an end. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, and also leave your comments. See you next time, and goodbye. Hello, dear friends.
Hello.
Hello!
Hi.
Today we will be escaping from prison in Roblox in the Mode Berries Prison Run. But before the escape begins, we wanted to ask you to like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and leave a comment on which map Joe should play next.
Yes, this really helps Joe. When you engage with the video, it becomes easier for Joe to complete the modes. Let's help him out.
Again with the vents. I hate them. Just let me know who the person is that installs them, and I'll fry them like a firecracker and blow them up.
Anger, calm down. We've already gotten out of it.
I think we should jump on those blocks to move forward.
Joe, don't look down. I'm really scared. Be careful when jumping on these blocks. If you fall, you'll land on the spikes.
It's so cold here, probably because of those large fans blowing in this direction.
Yes, I agree with you. It's very cold here.
I don't know. I actually feel quite warm.
Wow, these grates don't look very sturdy. Maybe we should look for another way?
No, there's no other way. We have to go through these grates. Joe, be careful when you jump on them.
I think we should break this grate with that key. Joe, take this key and break this grate.
It seems to me like this vent is connected to the bathroom, or why does it smell so bad here? I really dislike this odor.
Disgust, I think you're mistaken. I hear some screams. I think there's danger ahead. Joe, be careful.
Anxiety, you were right. There's a guard there. Joe, you need to be very fast to avoid getting caught by him.
Joe, run away from him quickly. If he catches you, he'll send you back behind bars. I don't think this pipe is meant for walking on.
Don't worry, Joe isn't heavy. He won't be able to break this pipe. Many people have walked and even jumped on it before Joe. As you can see, it's not broken.
Oh no, we forgot to press that red button to open that grate. We need to go down and press it. Joe, be careful not to get caught by the guard. It'll be really bad if you do.
Don't worry about him. He's very, very fat. I think he eats planets for breakfast. He'll never catch you. Even if you walk, he won't catch you. I don't know how they hire such fat guards. He can't catch anyone. Ha ha ha, don't be angry, guard. If you lose weight, you'll be able to catch everyone.
Stop insulting the guard already. It might hurt his feelings. Just run away from him. I even feel sorry for him.
Ah, these damn vents again. How much longer?
I was right after all. It is connected to the bathroom. Ew, it smells so bad here.
Yes, you were right. I really don't like this smell. It's just unbearable.
I completely agree with you. Let's get out of here as quickly as possible.
Here is the source of the smell. Don't pay attention to it, Joe. You need to take that shovel and start digging. We have to do this as quickly as possible.
It seems like a good time for stories. Oh, what a wonderful day it was when Joe decided to cook for the whole family. The kitchen was filled with excitement and anticipation. I could feel the joy bubbling up inside as we gathered ingredients and prepared to create something delicious.
Ugh, cooking again? Why does Joe always have to make such a mess? The chaos in the kitchen was infuriating. Spices scattered everywhere, pots clanging loudly. But I kept my cool, trying not to let my anger boil over.
The smells. Oh, the smells. As soon as Joe started chopping onions, my stomach turned. The pungent aroma filled the air, making me want to gag. Why couldn't Joe choose something less aromatic?
Oh dear, what if Joe burns the food again? I couldn't help but worry as I watched him handle the hot stove. What if something goes wrong? I fretted over every step, hoping we wouldn't end up with another kitchen disaster.
Despite the initial chaos and doubts, Joe's determination and our teamwork prevailed. We all pitched in, each of us playing our part to make sure everything turned out just right. The aroma of a well-cooked meal filled the kitchen, bringing smiles to everyone's faces.
Surprisingly, the food actually tasted good. Maybe Joe isn't so bad in the kitchen after all. I grudgingly admit that all the effort was worth it in the end.
I must admit, despite my initial aversion to the smells, the final dish looked quite appetizing. I cautiously tried a bite and was pleasantly surprised. It was delicious. Perhaps cooking isn't as bad as I thought.
Whew, everything turned out okay. I can relax now. Watching Joe cook was nerve-wracking, but I'm glad we were able to help him and enjoy a meal together as a family.
Now we will tell a story about how Joe learned to swim. Oh, what an exciting day it was when Joe decided to learn how to swim. The sun was shining brightly, and the pool shimmered invitingly. I could feel the anticipation and enthusiasm building up as we gathered by the water's edge.
Why does Joe have to do this now? The water is cold, and I hate getting wet. The thought of dealing with all this splashing and chaos is infuriating. But I tried to keep calm and not let my frustration show.
Oh no, what if Joe sinks or gets hurt? My heart raced with worry as I watched him hesitate at the edge of the pool. What if something goes wrong? I fretted over every possible scenario, fearing the worst.
The water. It's so gross. I can't stand the feeling of it on my skin, and the thought of all those germs floating around makes me shudder. Why did Joe have to choose swimming of all things?
Despite my initial concerns, Joe showed determination and courage. With our encouragement, he took small steps into the water, and I could feel his excitement growing with each stroke.
Ugh, more splashing. Why does learning to swim have to be so messy? I grumbled inwardly, but begrudgingly admitted that Joe was making progress, even if it was annoying.
I held my breath as Joe practiced floating and kicking. Every little splash made me jump with anxiety, but I was relieved to see him improving under our watchful eyes.
The chlorine smell? It's overwhelming. I tried to stay back as much as possible, but I couldn't avoid the sensation of being surrounded by water. At least Joe seemed to be getting the hang of it, despite my discomfort.
Now I'll tell you a story about how Joe flew on a plane for the first time.
Oh, it's so exciting! I can't believe the feelings Joe is experiencing right now. I'm just overflowing with joy seeing him here in the airplane. His heart is racing as we take off, his eyes shining with delight. He dreamed of flying for so long, and now, finally, his dream is coming true. I feel his emotions filling every cell of his body. How he enjoys the views outside the window. How he smiles at every flight attendant and seatmate. It's wonderful to be a part of this moment of joy.
This airplane is absolutely dreadful. How can anyone sit comfortably in this cramped space? Why is everyone so slow and inattentive? These flight attendants are just useless. Why couldn't we choose a more comfortable flight? I'm seething with anger every time I see how we're being served. This is simply unacceptable. Joe, why aren't you showing more initiative? Why are you satisfied with this service? This flight isn't even worth our time and money.
What if something goes wrong? I'm nervous beyond belief. All these sounds, movements, vibrations. I can't stop thinking about potential issues. Flying on a plane is so dangerous. What if we have an accident? What if something happens to the engine? Joe doesn't realize all these risks. He's just enjoying the flight. But I fear for him. I feel his fear overwhelming me. His anxiety makes me worry and suffer. Every minute of this flight is a test for our nerves.
How can anyone stand being here? It's just a nightmare. This smell, these sounds, this cramped space. I just can't. I feel disgust washing over me with every breath Joe takes. How can he not feel this horrible atmosphere? It's all so dirty, so unpleasant. I just want to get out of here as quickly as possible. Joe, why can't you hear my cry of disgust? Why don't you understand that this place is simply hell on earth? The next story is about how Joe entered a new class and got to know his new classmates.
It was so exciting. When Joe entered the new class, I couldn't help but rejoice with him. His face lit up with a smile as he greeted his new classmates. He was so open and friendly. He quickly found common ground with the kids in the class, started talking to them, and showing interest in their hobbies. It was wonderful to see him blossom in this new environment, his eyes shining with joy from making new friends. We tried to support him, encourage him, and help him overcome any shyness. Each of his successes brought me immense joy.
I am just furious about this situation. Joe in a new class and his classmates, they are just unpleasant. Why aren't they showing more kindness towards him? Why aren't they making more effort to get to know him better? I am angry at how they are treating him. It's unacceptable. I quickly grew angry seeing how they ignore his attempts to befriend them. Joe deserves better. Why isn't he standing up for himself more? I'm ready to explode with anger if he continues to endure this.
I was terrified when Joe walked into that class. New people, new surroundings. How would he cope? What if they didn't accept him? We agonized over every word he said, every step he took. He looked so tense trying to start a conversation with his classmates. And what if they didn't understand his feelings and intentions? I felt his anxiety, how it overwhelmed him every minute. We tried to give him cues, support him, but every uncertain look he gave to those mocking faces intensified my fears. It was such a nerve-wracking experience.
I feel disgust overwhelming me as Joe tries to interact with these people. They are so unpleasant and hypocritical. How can he stand being in the same class with such awful people? I can't stand their appearance, their voices, their mannerisms. And every time Joe tries to engage in a conversation, I want to close my eyes and escape from here. This atmosphere fills me with disgust, and I hope Joe soon realizes what terrible people surround him.
Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and leave your comment. Bye, everyone!